Warning, warning! As a medical doctor, I must inform you that there are side effects to this coaching session. Beware. It may enhance your self-esteem, cause you to experience vibrant health, encounter long-term weight loss, heal damaged relationships. Warning, there are side effects to this coaching session. It may increase your enthusiasm for life and bring about hope. It may cause you to have productive and optimistic thinking. It could even help you not allow messed up people to ruin the rest of your life and help you realize the masterpiece that you are and empower you to be the boss of your brain. Warning, these side effects may be long-term. This is Dr. Isabel from Doctoronamission.com.
Hello, welcome. I'm so excited we're going to be talking about this particular topic. It's about relationships. You see, in functional medicine, we look at relationships and how that affects your well-being. And, you know, we all are wired to be connected to other people. We seek the company of other people. If you think about it, when we're isolated and lonely, we tend to get depressed and anxious. And if you look back when in our ancestral times, being isolated meant that you were very, very susceptible to attack, right? Well, think of it now. We are isolated, we start feeling anxious and depressed, and it's because we don't have connection. I mean, how many of us are on our phones connecting through Facebook or Messenger and sending a text? That's not connecting. Connecting is talking to people, being with people, having relationships with people. So in this one, we're going to be talking about the importance of relationships, and in particular, relationships that are not good for you. You see, there's good relationships and there's bad relationships. There's healthy relationships and then there's death relationships. Death relationships that cause your demise, that tear you down, that just don't make you feel good, don't help you become your best. And you know what a healthy relationship is. You don't need me to explain what a healthy relationship is. Let's specifically talk about death relationships. Now, there's three types. There's death relationships with your family, with your friends, and in your workplace. In this specific segment, I'm only going to address the workplace, okay? All right. I'm going to keep my notes right here so I make sure I don't go off track. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a story, my story, which is the only life I've left, and it was during my internship. Now, this was my first year in the hospital, and during my internship, I had this attending who totally degraded me. He totally de-edified me in front of my colleagues, and as a result, I lost all my confidence. Not only was I sleep deprived, only sleeping maybe 3 or 4 hours a night, but my confidence was torn down. And I just started spiraling down and down and down and had my first episode of depression and anxiety. I'd never really experienced it, but I experienced it in my medical training, and it was pretty bad. But here's the thing, it was my first exposure to bullying in medicine. I mean, I always thought medical training was going to be loving and encouraging and trying to help people become their best. I mean, doesn't that seem like a healthy environment? Well, that is not the truth in medical training. My training, my experience was a lot of bullying. And as a result, I had to take a 1-month mental leave of absence to decide if I was going to continue in that area. The area that I was studying, that I was training in, was emergency medicine. And by the grace of God, I had that 1 month off, and I was able to just kind of recorrect and direct myself towards family practice, general practice, which I'm really grateful I did. But here's the thing. Here's my lesson. My lesson was, what did I learn from that experience, from that bullying experience? Well, I learned that I was giving away my power to that attending. And you know what? I don't know how many more people he did that to, but I didn't stand up for myself. I just took it and got very depressed and anxious. So that was a drag. But now, fast forward 40 years later, I realized, wow, that's what was happening. I gave away my power. So why does the bully do what they do? Well, research shows that they use this strategy because they feel frightened, and they want to make sure that they maintain their superiority. And what a better way than to degrade me in front of my colleagues. That's what he was doing. And the bullies have a hidden agenda. They're jealous, or maybe they're doing a payback. And like I'm thinking, in medicine, this attending that I had, medicine is an all boys club. It's been like that for a long time. I know more than 100 years. And I don't know if that attending was bullied and made to feel the way I felt, and felt like, now I'm going to do that to her now, just to get back at somebody. So they are either jealous or they're lashing out. Another thing is they've got power imbalances. They want to stay on their perch and make sure you know who's the boss. And it can have long-term demoralizing consequences in a person's life. For me, you know what happened. And you start thinking, this is from my experience only, okay? I don't know if this will be your experience, but this is my experience. What happened was I started to feel shamed, and I started to feel like I wasn't good enough. And so what I did for the rest of my training, and my colleagues can say, yes, this is what you did, is I started putting on more and more armor to protect myself, and so that nobody could get to me. And when I stepped into my next training, which was in family practice, I had like a coat of armor this thick, and I was known, I'm not proud of this, but I was known as the bee, and I don't have to share it's a female dog name, okay? So that's just the way it was. That's how I was affected. And I remember another time I was in the emergency department picking up a patient. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And another attending said to me, well, honey, and I flipped the switch on him. I said, you will not be calling me honey. I am a doctor. So anyway, that's just the way it was. And that's what can happen when you're in a bullying experience at work, okay? So here are your choices, because I like to give people tools, choices that they can use. Number one is you can punch them out, which I so wanted to do so many times, but I didn't. You can ignore them. That's a little difficult. The next is you can laugh with them. And then that way they see that they're not really getting to you. Or you can do what they say for you to do. Or you can report them. And I've had to do that. I've had to do that in my medical career, in practices where I was having nurses that were very bullying, or other medical doctors that were bullying, and I reported them. Yeah, it was scary, but I did it because I knew that if I didn't, then I could end up the way I was before. Another one is you can thank them for being the way they are, because that is forcing you to find the strength within you to arise and say, that's it. I am not taking this anymore. And then you decide, are you going to stay there and figure it out, or are you going to go on to another position, okay? But you do not have to put up with it. And know that these relationships affect your health. Know that. And you're learning how to become the CEO of your health here at Doctor on a Mission. And you don't have to put up with it, okay? All right, so that's it from me today. Before I go, remember, stay strong, and above all, never give up. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.